Who's it? Who's that? Who's it? Who's it? Who's it? Who's that? Who is that nigga that's driving a Bentley? Who is that nigga that's counting the 50s? Who is that nigga that's running the city? I be that nigga that's running it up. It on me, I keep that shit tucked. I'm paper chasing, always in a rush. I gotta get it, that shit is a must. They wasn't with it, got left in the dust. I gotta be the one to make a change. Could wait till the day when they told me I changed. Put on my city and my last name. Put on a pinky ring and a new chain. Who was that? Look at me, I know you picture you in that. I know you don't know nobody doing that. We too hot, they can never be cool with that. If I like it, you know I'm pursuing that. Maybe I should get one or get two of that. Walk out of the bank, pocket stupid fat. Yeah, they know who I be, they ain't wondering. Who is that? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is that? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is that? Who is that nigga that's driving a Bentley? Who is that nigga that's counting them 50s? Who is that nigga that's running the city? I be the nigga that's running it up. Who is that? Who is that? Who is that?
I don't care.
Peso.
Y'all can talk how y'all want.
Yeah, talk how you want, talk how you want. Who is that poppin' now? Who is that grappin' now? Who is that talking? Come get something to talk about. Who that girl smiling? Come get something to smile about. Took to the borders, get something to be proud about. Who is that nigga that run with the shit? Who is that nigga that let all the lions out? Who is that nigga keep gassing them up? I keep passing them up, which I let all his tires out. Bitch, iron out, fire out. Still ain't got nothing to live for. Who is that? Give him something to die about. Who is that? Now they finally finding out. He complaining, get something to cry about. I be like, yes, they know who is that. I float off the earth, I ain't coming back, bitch. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is that? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is that? Who is that nigga that's driving a Bentley? Who is that nigga that's counting them 50s? Who is that nigga that's running the city? I be that nigga that's running it up. $17 for it. Two crab legs, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, just to put a smile on your face. Yeah. Spent a lot of money last night. Yeah. Me and my bitch fresh out the sand with a 10, nigga. Damn, nigga. If it ain't about cash, don't give a damn, nigga. I been feeling love with counting bands, nigga. That's all I dream about while you get out of bed, nigga. Right now I'm hot in that bitch. Ay, look, freak she geek, though she love to make me proud. Do that shit just like I told. Big booty pay, baby, come and be my old bro. Rick James, that super freak, fuck on the soap. I see these sneaky niggas plotting on a culture. Shoot that fucking chip in your head, off your shoulders. Shorty wanna play, stretch her out like it's yoga. It's a slumber party, but you can't sleep over. What but that a name of the game? See, I told ya. Now we in the grave, mad at me, he rolling over. Big bag, take low, man, please don't expose him. If he was a snake, he would've bit me like a cobra. Big knots, big rocks, nigga, big rocks. Little nigga taking big shots, put him in the big box. How you know that motherfucker dead till that shit stop? Shit, it can't stop, and it won't stop. Yeah, gotta keep it with me cause I'm legendary. Wow, gotta keep it with me cause it's necessary. Yeah, gotta keep it with me cause these niggas scary. Yeah, scared to get their own cheese, wanna take my dairy. Yeah, got me a little cat woman, little Halle Berry. Yeah, little nigga, I'm John Wick and she Halle Berry. Yeah, my bitch, my shooter, she love me, that's voluntary. Yeah. Me and you gon' need, I ain't talking about commissary. Yeah, I know we gon' make it, this ain't Bonnie and Clyde. It's guapa down, we can't die, girl, we gon' make it alive. These niggas vultures, they need us just to survive. I see these pussy niggas looking with that eagle eye. I see these sneaky niggas plotting on the culture. Shoot that fucking chip in your head, off your shoulders. Shorty wanna play, stretch her out like it's yoga. It's a slumber party, but you can't sleep over. Guapa, that a name of the game, see I told ya. Now we in the grave, mad at me, he rolling over. Big bag, take low, man, please don't expose him. If he was a snake, he would've bit me like a cobra. They don't wanna see you going up, they tryna hold you. Can't let them get one up on you, they try to control you. See you with the ticket, now they sicker than ammonia. Didn't know just how to play the game, I had to show ya. Picture me a role model, posing with you poses. I'm the hottest nigga, look up to me like the solar. Fuck a pretty bitch and send her right back to the owner. Getting money outside like it ain't no corona. I see these sneaky niggas plotting on the culture. Shoot that fucking chip in your head, off your shoulders. Shawty wanna play, stretch her out like it's yoga. It's a slumber party, but you can't sleep over. Papa that a name of the game, see I told ya. Now we in the grave, mad at me, he rolling.
Powered by
What it do, dog, man? It's episode 30 of the Table Talk Podcast.
Episode 30.
Oh, yeah. Got my boy Marcus in the building again.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Marcus, man. How y'all doing out there? Oh, yeah. Shout out to the homie Von Beasy, man. That's who was playing during the little pre-show that we do every episode. So, you know, we try to plug the homies
For
or
sure.
good
nice
local artists. Oh, yeah,
Good
man.
vibe.
He got a little bump to that, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? He got Curtis Williams who's helping him produce that whole album, so that's pretty
Okay.
dope. Big time plug right there.
For sure.
I know the numbers are actually going crazy. He had like 2,000 streams yesterday, and it just dropped. What's today? Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
So it dropped Friday.
Man.
So
Yeah, that's
shout out to
that's
Von
a good
Beasy,
start.
bro.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. For sure.
Yo, we got a pretty packed show today. We're gonna touch on a few things. We had a tragic loss of one of the I'll say it, one of the greatest football players of all time.
No doubt.
Maradona, Diego Maradona. We're gonna talk about, you know, one of my favorite things to talk about. That's Star Wars.
Yes, sir.
Baby Yoda. We gonna keep rolling with the COVID thing too. We gonna kind of pick up where you were kind of talking about last week,
For sure.
which I think is very important, especially what's kind of going on in this kind of spike/surge that's happening. Then we got some, I don't know, some kind of cool news from Gordon Ramsay. I'm actually a pretty big fan of his.
For sure.
The shows, just him, the cook, everything.
Yup,
The chef.
exciting
Let me
guy.
call him a chef. I don't mean to call him a cook.
Big
Yeah,
chef.
motherfucker, cuss my ass out calling him a cook. And then tonight we got the Tyson Roy Jones fight. We'll talk about that.
Yes,
Maybe we'll
sir.
get your prediction.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll hit on the NFL picks.
For sure.
Sound good?
Yep.
All right, man. Well, you know, with that being said, welcome to the Table Talk Podcast, episode 30. So let's start with the news that we got on. I think it was Wednesday that Diego Maradona passed away.
Yep.
I know. I believe it was I want to say they said it was a heart attack.
Said it was a heart attack.
Yeah, and he had just had brain surgery a few weeks prior.
Yep. About 15 days ago.
Yeah, and just recently they've been having his body, the casket. It's been in stayed at Casa Rosada in Buenos Aires.
Mm-hmm.
So millions and millions of people have been coming out showing their respects. We got the
Yes.
video playing on the screen right now.
Huge visitation, man. A lot of respect being
yeah.
paid for that guy, man. I mean, for me not to follow football,
Mhm.
soccer,
Yeah.
as close as you or
Mhm.
some other guys that I know, this guy was a legend.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Absolutely.
Just pure badass,
Oh yeah.
tough-hearted guy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if a lot of people that mistake soccer for a soft sport, it's not.
Yeah.
You know, soccer's pretty intense,
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
physical,
Oh yeah.
demanding on your body.
Mm-hmm.
And then just from where this guy's from, you know, South America, man, soccer's crazy down there.
Oh yeah.
So just a hero for a lot of people, man. So
Absolutely.
you know, rest in peace, Diego, man.
Yeah, rest in peace to, you know, Diego Maradona. I mean, like you said, he was a national hero, you know, one of soccer's greatest players. He was rugged. He was extravagant. I mean, there's a whole move named after him called the Maradona.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it sucks. He's a cool dude, you know. Past was a little shaky sometimes, but I don't like bringing that up. I like bringing up the light.
For sure.
And he was
For
a
sure.
dog. Like, he's one of my type of guys like that I want
Oh,
on my
yeah.
team. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Maradona is one of the guys that you want on your team,
For
man.
sure.
Like, he's going to town for his squad, his country.
Yes, sir.
And he's always been in the talk as greatest of all time with Pele.
Right.
Like, when you think of the greatest of all time, Maradona is up there on that Mount Rushmore.
Absolutely.
So, you know,
It's powerful. And soccer's not a local sport. You know what I mean? When we talk about like American football, that's kind of here. Canada,
Yeah,
that's the
nationally.
Canadian.
Mhm.
But I mean, outside of that,
Yeah.
there's nothing else comparable. Soccer's global.
Oh, yeah, international, global.
So when you're a legend in soccer, man, it's a global thing.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, we
man.
lost the Mike Jackson of soccer.
Oh, yeah, definitely, man, for sure. And it sucks. It really does, man, because he was really getting a lot of things together, man. You know, he
Mhm.
was trying to stay healthy. I believe he was 60 years old,
Yep.
you know, and he didn't really look 60, if
Not
you want me
that
to be
old.
honest with
Not
you,
that
man.
old, no.
One of the last couple of videos I seen of him was when he was at what's the guy's restaurant? Is it Salt Bay? Is that the dude's name?
Yeah.
And he was doing his little meal there.
Yeah.
It's an iconic video when it
Right,
comes to
right.
like just internet meme kind of thing.
For sure.
And he looked great.
Right.
You know what I mean? He didn't look,
No, I
bad
saw
or
some
nothing
videos of
like
him
that.
coaching and stuff, man.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It looked like he was in good shape.
oh yeah, hell of a coach. Very energetic. Like he was just fire. He
I
had a
wonder
whole
what
bunch of
caused
fire.
the brain surgery. Did he have cancer or
I don't know.
Was there some type of
I'm not sure if
I mean, you
like
don't
the
just have-
family made it public yet as far as his
Right.
health.
yeah?
Because like I said,
You don't
this
just
was
have
all
brain
brand new to
surgery.
me.
Yeah.
Like as soon as it hit, like you gotta remember too, this is coming off a week where Joe Burrow got hurt, and I'm
Yeah.
down in the dumps, dog.
Oh yeah.
And then this just hits. I was just ready to break my 65-inch TV. Like I was ready to throw everything at it just because I was like, yo, can
Yep.
we just stop for
Yeah.
a second?
Yeah. 2020,
know what I mean?
man, strikes back.
It sucks. It really does. So, you know, my condolences to his family,
Absolutely.
to everybody in Argentina.
Absolutely.
You know, that's their hero right there, man.
for sure.
Along with, you know, Messi.
Yeah.
But
Well, and as far as 2020 goes, man, hopefully we don't have to have any more, legendary celebrity
yeah,
deaths.
I'm just ready. I'm kind of ready for this year to be over. If you want me to be completely honest with you.
You
So,
know, I agree with you, and I don't like to say that statement sometimes because we'll go into 2021, something will happen, I'll be
Yeah.
devastated. But I'm ready for the season itself to be over.
It's like a fresh start, though.
Well,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
no, it's a good fresh start. A lot of good things are happening, but weird season right now.
Yeah.
man. Weird season.
Yeah, I will say though, like I was saying, it's a fresh start. A lot of good things are gonna happen. We just
Oh,
gotta put
yeah.
that in the air. You know
sure,
what I mean?
sure.
And honestly, it's starting with in January when we get a new president. Like it's a fresh
Absolutely.
start for
Oh, yeah.
everything. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely right.
you know, like I said, my condolences. Rest in peace. So hey, let's get into the next topic. This one might spend a little bit more time. I don't know. It all depends. I don't want to spoil anything for nobody. But new episode of The Mandalorian came out.
Mando,
I'm a huge Star Wars fan.
man.
I'm a huge Mandalorian fan. Like that
Yes,
series
sir.
is absolutely amazing.
Same here.
It's great. But Baby Yoda, he's got a name now, bro.
Yes, sir.
He's got a name.
Unbelievable. Mando didn't even believe it at first.
He was like, well, the name is Grogu, but he was like, Grogu? And it just kind of looked at him like, you know my name, man? Like, and it was just interesting just to see the reaction from some people. You know, there were some people that were just convinced his name was going to be Baby Yoda,
Right.
which
Right.
it's clicked so much.
For
Like,
sure. For sure.
I mean, you look up any trending, like Baby Yoda's got over
oh my goodness.
so many million tweets and posts and stuff like that he's still probably going to be called Baby Yoda.
Oh, for a long time.
You know what I mean? But it just seems like they had all this set up from the get-go, bro.
Absolutely.
They had to, man.
Well, they always know what they're doing, man. And for us guys who really pay attention to things and we're Star Wars connoisseurs,
Mhm.
the name will matter. We'll refer
Yeah.
to him as Grogu. Other people will say Baby Yoda. We'll
Yeah.
all know what we're talking about.
Mhm.
How do you feel about the name Grogu? I mean, obviously it's not going to be a common name because it is
Yeah.
Star Wars, but how do you feel about the name?
I think it is like
Does it fit? Does it work? Because I know you personally kind of took the whole Baby Yoda thing in and kind of, that's
I
your
embraced
baby.
that
That's
shit.
your child.
Yeah, man,
You know what
I
I'm
embraced
saying?
that,
So
man.
the child is your child.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So the name Grogu, I mean, how does that sit
I embraced
here at
it,
the house?
man. I definitely embraced it. I like Grogu. I don't think it's a bad name. It's different, though. I think a lot of people were expecting, like, something on the lines of Yoda's name.
Right.
Because you got Yoda. There was also another character, same species, in Star Wars. I believe it was in Attack of the Clones. She was on the Jedi Council. Her name was Yaddle.
Okay.
So I think people were expecting it to be along those lines.
Play on that name.
And I think what they had to do, though, was I think one or two things happened. I don't want to go too deep into this because, I could. I really could.
We'd be here all day.
I think it possibly could have had something, to do with the why. I don't know. You could have did anything with it, but maybe they called him Grogu to keep his name like secret. They didn't want to, really name him too close to those, and then people would know, hey, maybe Yoda had a kid, maybe he didn't, or maybe he's just super close to Yoda and Yaddle. I don't know. I don't not
Yaddle
like it though.
Have Jedi power?
Oh yeah. She was on the council.
So okay. So my thing is are all of the species,
for the most part,
with the Force,
they're pretty in tune with the Force. Most of them are. I'm not going to guarantee that they all are, but most of them, yes, they are.
Well, because I
very
come to
strong in the Force.
In my mind,
and they live a long time too. So that's probably why.
So they live a long time. I would probably say there's not many of them.
No.
Right.
No.
So the species is very small. That's probably why he's being hunted, right? Well, and if you really pay attention, I mean, they're trying to harvest his blood and things like that to create some type of army or force. So there's something very unique about the species.
If you notice, and like you're saying, they're trying to like clone people. Well, if you notice, there's a patch on those scientists, and it's the Camino patch. The Camino patch is the cloning facility from episode 3. So like when they were cloning all the Jango Fett's,
right.
Boba Fett's dad,
right.
They all came from that same facility with that same logo. So now all these guys have this same logo that are making these clones now. So that's kind of where people are thinking this is going to go.
Okay.
It's going to be interesting. I personally think that Moff Gideon is trying to figure out how to harness midichlorians, because if you notice, they were talking about M count. M count is the midichlorians. That's the amount of, pretty much it's your levels of how much of the Force you have in your body. Okay. So, like Anakin, they mentioned this in episode 1.
Right.
His midichlorian count was off the charts, greatest they've ever seen.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That they tested his blood and all that.
Right.
Same thing with this Grogu Baby Yoda kind of thing. I think that they're just trying to get this amount from him and figure out how to take it from one body and put it into the other.
Gotcha.
I think Moff is going to run into this problem that, everybody kind of has the Force, but it's how you embrace it and can you bring it out of you.
Right.
I don't think it's really transferable. Maybe. I don't know. That's dark side stuff and everything in between.
That was my next question. Is it just the species or is it just the blood of Jedis? Right.
That's a good question. That's a real good question. Kind
of like some of these other shows we've seen where kind of have the night blood type of thing.
Yeah.
Is there a species of people where you can just transfer it that easily, or is it like you said, the Force literally has to be something you can channel? Which I believe it's the latter of the two, right? Because if you watch Luke or Anakin or any of those guys when they were young, like they had to really channel that energy and figure it out. It wasn't just something that they woke up and started.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
They even mentioned it too that he kind of hid his abilities and to a point where he almost forgot how to use a lot of them because he didn't want to be seen. So, it's interesting, but the name itself, I like it. I want to see where they're going to go with it. I mean, after hitting us with that episode, Dave Filoni, he's a genius. It's going to be a spinoff. It's going to happen.
Right.
They had Ahsoka in there. Spoiler alert. I mean, she's right at the beginning, and it's her episode pretty much, if you ask me. So, it's going to be a spinoff.
Yeah,
Disney
excited,
here
man.
to make money.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where they go.
I'm here to give Disney my money, so Yo, I'm totally with it.
Yeah, shout out to the series, man. Mandalorian's
Man,
tight, man.
they really hitting
That's a tight series.
They really hitting it. And we got that cool little right after Thanksgiving kind of special. It worked.
For sure.
It was
For sure.
perfect. We knew what they were doing.
Well, and this is what's cool about the Mandalorian. And I'll kind of end up with this. Is like, this is the type of show, or even if you're not a Star Wars fan, or if you've ever seen anything else Star Wars, you can enjoy the Mandalorian story from the beginning, first season, episode 1 through now, and you just be like, oh man, this is kind of cool. So yeah, man, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's on Disney Plus. But yeah, good series.
Oh yeah, great series, and can't wait for next Friday. We'll get another episode, and we'll see
what Grogu got for us.
Man, I'm excited. This is it. This is it for me. There's no movies really coming out right now, so this is what I'm living for right now. So hey, I can't wait.
Got you.
So we got COVID, man. Oh, excuse me. We got COVID striking professional and collegiate football right now. I was texting you a little bit last night, and between when I was texting you, I got even more news.
Right.
So we got, UC Cincinnati, number 7 team in the country, canceling their game with Temple.
Right.
We had Nick Saban testing positive.
Right.
We had the Ohio State coach test positive. And then right after that, the game for Ohio State got canceled. So what do you think is going on, man? Do you think it's just a spike that's really starting to hit? Like what is going on? Because even in professional sports, we had the Ravens Steelers game. They moved it to Sunday from the Thursday. Because I think we already picked for that game, bro.
Right.
And then we're gonna have to re-pick again just because of the circumstances. And even this morning, there was more Steelers players that tested positive. Wow. So you got that. Lamar Jackson's positive. Ingram's positive.
I'll tell you something that I heard. I was listening to All the Smoke, Matt Barnes, and Steven Jackson, and they had Travis Kelce on there, and they were asking him like, "How's life right now with the COVID, and how are things for you guys as players? What's different? Is it weird without the fans?" And so Travis got to speak on some of that, man. And he was talking about, he was like, "I actually had to buy a suite at Arrowhead so that my family could come still support and feel safe, right?" So they're inside of a sanitized room watching the game. No one else is sharing contact other than them. So that's a little different. He's like, I mean, it's cool, but they'd rather be sitting closer, feeling the rhythm of the game. He's like, but afterwards I can go party with them, hang out for a little bit after whatever. He also said that it's kind of boring because he's like, I practice with my guys, we play in the games, but it's like work and then go straight home.
Yeah.
He said they even tell us not to hang out together because if one of us gets sick, we all risk getting sick. So he said it's been very tough, but now that these guys are getting sick, it's like, man, it's almost impossible that if one of us gets it, to not give it to the rest of the guys just because you're always with these dudes.
Yeah.
So I don't know if people are going home to their families, being exposed, coming back, because other than that contact, it's pretty bubbled in.
Yeah. What I have heard is one of the workers / kind of train. I don't know if they're a trainer, but they work in the facility with the team.
Not a player,
Baltimore.
though.
Yeah. I heard that they were kind of irresponsible, I guess I could put it that way, with how they've been handling things, and I think they had went out or something. I'm not 100% sure, but that's another thing we gotta pretty much, take into consideration too. That it's just not the players there. There's coaches, there's training staff, there's people that just work in that building in general.
There's people sweeping and mopping floors, getting the fields prepared,
and they might not even necessarily be doing this on purpose. Like they could have just got it and then just brought it there and not known.
Well, and I think the biggest spreader is the asymptomatic people. The cases of where it's like I tested positive and had, I'm not going to say any certain names or places, but where my brother works, one of the main folks there on the staff tested positive for COVID, and he's like, man, I've done everything right. I've worn gloves. I've worn my mask. I social distance. I haven't seen my mother in 6 months. Like I'm doing everything right. and still tested positive.
Yeah.
And had to quarantine and be away from work. But those are the type of people who are like, no, I'm good. I'm not feeling anything. I've been doing stuff right.
Yeah.
They'll go around people, man, and not, because then somebody who does show symptoms catches it, and it's threatening to their life.
Right.
That's the scariest part of this whole thing, man.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, what could not be anything you could kill me?
Right. Exactly. And I think that's just the crazy thing about it, because I'll give you my personal experience. I had a bad headache, man, for like 3-4 days, and it's lingering on a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I had to get tested because I was just like, man, I never really had a headache like this to where it's consecutive days in a row. Never really had it. Hey, let's just be smart and do this the right way. Take the test, negative. And I never had it. So I'm like, oh, okay, then maybe this is just something else. So, and it differs from people to people, man.
Right.
You go have people that they can't smell anything, can't taste anything.
Right.
You have some people that were vomiting, and then you have some people that just have a cough.
Right.
And it just differs from people to people. How you contacted, I think that's still up in the air, man. I honestly, I thought I had a grasp on how this is, how this is happening. But at this point, I really don't know, man. It's scary. It really is,
tell.
man. It's a scary thing to think of for anybody that's had it or is battling it right now. My heart goes out to you because I know it's a tough thing. You got to isolate. Not only is it a physical problem, but it's a mental problem as well.
Yep.
So I don't know, man. I think
I saw a couple of people that I know on Facebook that spent Thanksgiving in the hospital fighting COVID.
Yeah.
So, my heart goes to you guys, man, and continue to fight, get well, get home.
Oh yeah, man.
But
Eat that shit.
Just continue. Everybody that's not been sick or was sick and is better now, continue to protect yourself. Wash your hands.
Be vigilant.
Wipe your surfaces. Use your gloves.
Wear
use
a
your
mask.
masks.
Wear a mask.
Distance from people if you can. It's very tough because I find myself distance from strangers, but like with family, it's all love,
be
bro.
right up there,
Especially with my kids, man. My kids are young, and I can't turn them away from hugs and cuddles and stuff like that. So, or my wife even, I don't want to, hey, I can't. It's like, nah, life is business as normal. Till death do us part, I guess.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whatever it may be.
No,
but
that's all understandable, bro.
it's crazy. So
you're responsible, though, and you know how this is, especially for people with conditions and older people.
Right.
Just like we just had Thanksgiving. Hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had a pretty good one. Yeah, yeah. So,
got your green bean casserole in?
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
Top side in Ohio.
Oh, no.
Yes, sir.
But we had to be responsible. Me and my wife, she cooked an amazing dinner.
Nice.
Now we got some help, from family. They dropped off a few sides, and that's the way to do it,
Yeah.
As long as you do it that way, you can say Happy Thanksgiving. All right, keep it moving. We gotta be smart about this.
Yeah.
And then I seen some where, right out here, a few houses down. I mean, I'm talking about driveway full.
100 people.
Man, I'm talking about
all the cousins like Desi
man,
Banks.
I thought it was a buffet or something, like a all you can eat, free of charge, letting anybody walk in type.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm just like,
well,
I gotta watch myself right now.
Well, no, like you said, being responsible was really different this year. For one side of the family, we were able to get on in the morning and kind of do a group FaceTime.
Okay.
So my aunt and my cousins were in Texas. My brother and I here in Cincinnati, my sister, my wife, and our kids. My grandmother at a different location. It was with my uncle. So, I mean, we were all able to be on there and kids' faces and talking and laughing and stuff on there. So that was unique and different. And it's not the same as being in person, but
right.
But it was very memorable.
Oh, yeah.
And good to see everybody. And then from my wife's side of the family, man, we went over and tried to take part in normal traditions. However, we wore masks.
Yeah.
We distanced. So, I mean, instead of everybody eating together at one table, we had 3 or 4 in here, 2 people there. I mean, kind of just around the house. So we did it, and then we didn't hang as long. So instead of being there for 3 or 4 hours, we usually play some games.
Yeah.
Everybody hee and ha ha and a lot of breath and stuff going everywhere.
Yeah.
We didn't even do that this year, man. We just kept the mask on. Everybody kind of ate, couple little hugs and kisses, and got out of there, man. And
makes you
just kept it
appreciate
safe.
all that stuff too.
It's
man.
nuts, man. It was really, really, really different.
Because I'm used to doing, Thanksgiving and Christmas. We go over to my grandparents,
Right.
my grandpa's house, and
Yep.
we drink a little bit, have fun. I get to see all my cousins at one time.
Right.
Aunt, uncles,
For sure.
and just close friends that live, a few houses, around them, and just
Yep.
not to be able to do stuff like that,
Yep.
you got to do it alone almost.
Yep.
And I didn't mind it, but at the same time, I was just kind of bummed out a little bit, just because I like to do that sometimes.
Yep.
Yep. Plus, it's a lot of damn food that I got to put away, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I never really had to do it all like that before.
Yep.
So now I'm like, damn, this is what they got to do, or
Yep.
this is how they get rid of most of the food by, packing this up and letting people take it home.
Take it home.
So,
You'll be eating on it for a couple of days.
oh yeah, and I'm still. I think wife told me we got one more day eating leftovers before we start cooking again.
That's
So
hilarious.
I'm
Yep.
like, all right, man, I'm pretty full though. I'm almost down for the count. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
So, hopefully this stuff can shake though, especially with what's going on with college football and
For sure, man. I
know,
mean, not to be able to see the Bearcats this weekend
yeah.
was a bummer.
it sucks. It
Ohio
definitely
State
does
as well.
Yeah.
In this year, I mean, people are kind of saying this year is going to be one of those asterisk years where, records really don't count. I mean, Ohio State's not played that many games. However, they're ranked top in the country. Should they get a bowl game or a playoff entry and that stuff versus UC, who's undefeated and had to play a whole
11
season.
games, pretty
You know
much,
what I'm saying? So a lot of weird stuff going on. The NFL games being postponed. Fantasy's been a disaster for me this year.
My fantasy was done about 5-6 weeks ago.
If you're in the top 5 in fantasy, I'll just give you a pat on the back because I don't know how you're doing it and what players you have. Because
I don't even want to talk about the fantasy.
no, I
right
mean,
now.
there's been so many injuries and games and weird stuff that happened, bro. I've never been able to get a grip on much of anything. So, yeah, man, hopefully we can shake this stuff and get past this
For
COVID.
sure.
I'm looking forward to spring 2021. March, April will be good for us, bro.
Yeah. You do any Black Friday shopping like online or anything?
Man, you know what's funny, man, is so last week it was like Sunday of this week.
Yeah.
So we're at Walmart and like I had been seeing commercials on TV like Black Friday will be all month. Don't just wait until that Friday and we don't want a bunch of people at the stores. So I seen some of those advertisements and I didn't have big plans on anything, man, but I saw some stuff that was priced great. And there's 2 items that were, I'm not going to say high dollar, but decent price, stuff that I wouldn't have normally just bought on a humble. But when I saw them, I said, man, there's 2 of this one left, and there's only 2 of this one left. I said, man, maybe I'll just wait until like Monday and come get them. But then I was like, nah, I said, they ain't going to be here, man. I said, this the Black Friday
That shopping
sale.
mode hit you.
So I looked at wifey and said, hey, I'm getting ready to do some things. She just looked at me with the head nod like, oh, whatever, man. And so I made a couple purchases and but no, it was good deals, really good deals. Like I said, stuff I wouldn't have normally bought, but the price is just like, I can't pass it up or wait till Friday. So so I didn't have to fight any crowds. Nothing crazy. Like I said, that was a week ago. So yeah, everything's been smooth, man. Hopefully nobody's out there getting sick or getting beat up.
Right, man.
So yeah, I mean, anything. What about you? Did you do anything special?
Well, speaking of deals, Unanimous, we have our Redbubble site that just went live on Friday. Jalen, you could go ahead and pull up the little prompt, but all you gotta do is search Unanimous Pod on Redbubble. We got a lot of merchandise up there: T-shirts,
hoodies,
coffee mugs, masks, anything you could think of. And I believe you could still use their Black Friday / Cyber Monday deal. It's Deals 2020. So Deals in all cap 2020. if y'all get a chance, go over there, and that'll be supporting the podcast. I think I'm gonna get a couple things off there myself.
For sure, me too. Man.
Probably give a few things away as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I did, along with a couple of Star Wars things that I said I wasn't gonna do, and then I ended up buying it anyway, just because I was just like, I can't pass it up. But besides that, I didn't even go anywhere. I did it all online.
Yep.
So
Yep.
kind of new for me.
There you go.
But yeah. Just thought I'd throw that little plug out there.
For sure.
Plus see, what you were getting at.
For sure. Make sure you cop the Unanimous merch.
Oh yeah.
Support the pod. And links in all the bios. So
oh yeah.
You can find it anywhere.
It's pinned to every social media site we got. We'll even put it in our YouTube as well. We'll put it in our description. We'll put it somewhere, maybe in the comments or in the description.
For sure.
But yeah, go there and check out just, the few things that we do have. All right, man. So I think this was 2 days ago, brother. I seen this post that Gordon Ramsay in his new restaurant, it's going to have this $106 burger, and the fries cost extra.
That's your boy Gordon. That's your boy Gordon.
So his new restaurant at...
It's an expensive burger, man.
Oh,
Before
yeah.
you even dig into it. It's
crazy.
Expensive, but... I'm reading some of the details, man. Go ahead and let us know what's on this thing.
Well,
man.
yeah. Well, pretty much it's at the Harrods department store in London.
Okay.
I mean, it's a Wagyu burger. Comes with beef patty, seared Wagyu, sirloin, truffle, pecorino. What is that? Pecorino cheese.
Yeah,
Look, this how you know this shit is too expensive, bro.
You got to do it
Yo,
like that. Set
mayonnaise and fresh black truffle. That's where it's gonna be expensive, is the truffles, bro.
Well, and are you familiar with the Wagyu?
Yeah. Wagyu's crazy
That's
expensive.
super dumb expensive.
You can't find it anywhere.
No,
you know what I mean?
So, you know what's crazy, man? I mess around and buy this.
Would you?
Yeah.
I'm not a big mayonnaise guy though. Like on anything.
Man, you know what? I mess with the mayonnaise enough to get to
try this one.
Yeah.
Just to try it.
I mess around and eat this for 106 if I'm in London.
Yeah, I mess around and split this with my girl, and we both can eat it.
There you go.
And I get the fries too.
There you go. I was gonna say I get the fries because if you try to charge me anything over $10 for the fries, we fighting.
Yeah, man.
You already got 106 out of me for the burger.
For real, and that ain't counting your drinks and everything in between that you might want to try too. Because if the burger is hitting, you low key might want to try something else.
Now that I'm thinking about it, bro, I couldn't even share this with wifey because she vegetarian. So. I couldn't even give her the fries because that would be disrespectful. Like I couldn't eat a $105 burger and they'd be like, here go $10 fries.
But I'm sure he's got something on the menu that would, kind of pertain to her. They have I think one of the other dishes is what is it? It's a lobster and shrimp burger, and that one's $28. And then he has one that's a hot dog, I guess. I don't know, man. He's got a lot of stuff on here that is kind of interesting. He's got an American pretty much style cheeseburger. It's $28.
For sure.
I think that's the cheapest thing on the menu.
Man,
are you a Gordon Ramsay fan? Have you ever tried any of his recipes or you watch his shows?
Man, I've watched some of his shows and he's very exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting to watch. Sometimes he's an a-hole.
Yeah.
But I think that he's earned his little bit of power.
Yeah.
And super fun and entertaining, man.
You ever been to one of his restaurants before?
I haven't. Not that I know of. Now, wifey's probably cooked something that was one of his recipes, but I couldn't tell you specifically what it was. But she pays attention to stuff like that, so I know she's done something. But no, man, dude's been cool to watch. I've seen some of his restaurants, but I've eaten at like the Guy Fieri restaurants or what's his name?
Fieri.
Guy Fieri. Yeah, Guy Fieri. Guy
Yeah.
Guy Fieri.
I've had one of his little things before down in
I had one of his burgers at one of his little burger spots, and it was delicious.
I had I think I went to Planet Hollywood or something like that, one of those, and he has a whole menu in there. One of the craziest things I tried was he had these chicken tenders. They were Captain Crunch breaded chicken tenders, and I
Man.
thought it was gonna be like nasty, and it was one of the greatest chicken tenders I've ever had in my life. Fire, like
That's hilarious.
crazy fire, bro.
Sounds good, man.
You know what I mean? He had a whole bunch of stuff, but yeah, I think I don't know. I'd probably try it. I mean, I definitely got to get to one of his restaurants, like Hell's Kitchen, or I can't think of. He's got a couple in Vegas as well, I believe,
Sure.
too. I can't think of the other one in Vegas. It's the one where it's pretty much a burger joint, like, and he just sells a whole bunch of his, style burgers.
Man, if burgers are a good cut of meat and cooked correctly, even if they're thin patty, they can be delicious.
Oh yeah,
the cheese has got to be melted right. The onions have got to be great. Whatever pickle you put on
gotta
there,
have the right
certain type
pickle
of
on
mustard
there.
and stuff.
Yep.
So, if you do them right, man, nice seasoned fries. So, some of these guys, man, just have a good palate. They understand the plate.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like, it's just a burger. It's like, man, they understood that mug.
Yeah, bro.
Like the layers.
He
His
gets it. I
levels.
mean, he's always, understood what's going on. He's super talented. He's known for his TV shows that he's been doing for years on top of years.
Who's your most favorite chef over all the years? Like Emerald and this guy. There's been a ton of them. But who's been like
I think it's Ramsey, man.
He's been the most exciting.
He's the most confident.
Yeah.
He's just all about it, man.
Right.
Like, and he's about making, his shows where he wanted to make people better.
Right.
From Hell's Kitchen to Kitchen Nightmares, he wanted to improve the kitchen.
Right.
He's passionate about it, and that's my thing. Like, when you're passionate about something,
Right.
and you put enough into it, you're gonna reap all the benefits. But the quality is gonna be through the roof. That's just what it's all about. And I think I just along with his personality, I love his personality, man. Like, he's when you're not on one of the shows, he's probably one of the coolest guys to hang out with.
Right.
When you are on the show, it's probably like having a college basketball coach at a D1 school. Like,
Right.
he's gonna push you to be better. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what it's all about. But he's had plenty of successful people that have worked underneath him that now have their own restaurants that I've been trying to get to still.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's what it's all about too. Like, I got to look under his umbrella of chefs.
There you go.
And what they've created. And I'm like, I don't know anybody else that's really doing it like him, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
No, I give you that, man. He's producing.
what's the name from Bar Rescue's a cool guy too, even though he's not really
chef or restaurant guy.
yeah. I can't even think of that dude's name.
Me neither, but I was just gonna say, man, him and Ramsey remind me of like the two guys, and rest in peace, the one dude that passed away, but they remind me of the two guys that used to do the advertisements. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
The Flex Seal guys and the what was the one little gadget everybody was buying? But yeah, man, it's like legendary, like bar and restaurant.
Yeah, was
guy.
it Billy Mays? Is that
Yep.
Billy Mays?
Yep.
Billy Mays here.
And,
Yeah.
and then the other dude, a little
then
younger.
John Taffer is the guy that does Bar Rescue too.
Okay, there you
Shout
go.
out to John Taffer. I
mess
don't know.
with him.
I like the
I
energy
mess
those
with him.
guys bring,
Yeah, I
man.
mess
Like,
with him.
he's about it. He's a businessman. He's gonna let you know. He's gonna hold you accountable. I
Right.
love that, and like just ownership and entrepreneurs. Like, some of the most successful people are people in the restaurant/bar business. People don't know this, man.
And you know
like,
what? I'm gonna bring something to the light, man. I a lot of people don't appreciate that style of, I guess you would call it coaching or teaching.
yeah.
Unless it's a show, right? Like nobody wants to be yelled at or
Right.
enthusiastically pumped up if it's not on camera.
Right.
But I think people can really learn from that style, man. I tell people all the time that
Makes you better, man.
some of my greatest coaches were the ones who used to
Chew
cuss
my
me
ass out.
Like, I'm talking about the ones I was like, man, he might actually, I'll never forget this. And any of my friends stop me if I'm lying. We were at a practice, baseball practice. Things were getting out of hand to where, like, we were making some overthrows. People weren't catching. We just couldn't get through the drill.
Yeah.
Coach said, everybody get over here. Get on one knee. So we all come running up. It's probably 12 of us, man. We get on one knee. We're sitting right here in front of us. He takes this bat, and he's swinging this bat as hard as he can, side to side, like inches from our faces. And, like, we can feel the wind. You can hear the woo, woo. every time the bat goes by. Now, when I tell people this story, people be like, dang, man, that's pretty intense.
Yeah.
Which it was. However, after he did that, now he got in our, he got into us a little bit after that. But after that little 5-minute rant, we went back on that field, and like the rest of practice was perfection. Like no miss nothings.
Yeah.
Like everybody was, and like I appreciated that. So it's like I'm telling this story, and it's like, man, what? That coach was crazy.
Yeah.
Nah, man, that coach made me a better man.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate that, Coach Mike.
Oh yeah.
So
it's crazy. His name's Coach Mike, because I was gonna bring up my uncle that coached me. He
There's a lot
used
of
to
Mikes
chew my fucking ass out, man.
Right.
Like, and of course, he's gonna be hard on me, but he was hard on everybody. You know what I mean?
sure.
Regardless of what was going on.
Yep.
Made me a better person.
Right.
Better athlete. Kept me in shape. Like, I look back on it, and I'm like, damn, man, hated doing this, but this man kept me from, being out of shape. Like, I was in shape. I could have ran track in high school, damn near.
Right.
Running the way he was making us run, like, and chewing us out the way he was chewing us out. And it built me. So when I crossed over from basketball to soccer, the mentality was there. I was ready to kill every motherfucker on the field. Didn't matter if I was scoring or not.
Right.
When I got out there, bro, they was going to remember, like, watch out for his ass.
And this guy's fierce.
Bro, he's strong. You could tell this motherfucker lift weights. Like, you could just tell everything about him. He just wants to.
Right.
He wants to go at you. You know what I mean?
Right.
It makes everybody better. And I'm all about that. I'm all about not giving everybody a trophy every time once you get to a certain age. I think every kid should at least experience it. Just so they know how it feels, but they should also experience how it feels to not win it as well. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't want to get too off topic with it, but
For sure.
all that's important. The coaching,
that coaching piece,
the motivational
man, whether it be
coaching,
sports
man.
or business, be willing to accept the emotional coaching.
Oh yeah.
It's not a personal thing. It is business. People say that for a reason. It's business.
I hear some like motivational speakers. I can't think of the one guy's name that he goes everywhere. He does all the
Eric Thomas.
Yeah. I hear him sometimes and I'm ready to run through a fucking wall, dog.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm ready. Like, it don't matter who it is, bro. They could be 400 pounds lifting 550 on the bench.
Yeah, you'll run
I'm
through
running straight through that dude,
Right.
and it don't matter.
Well, see, this
And
is
I'm
the
gonna get up
difference
and do it
between him,
again.
though. Eric Thomas is speaking directly, general to everybody, blanketed,
Right.
to where you can hear that and be like, man, I'm going to get up and get rolling. Be able to accept that when somebody has that level of enthusiasm and it's personally directed to you.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying
Absolutely.
accept persecution, but when somebody brings that to you, and we call it constructive criticism, right? Be able to accept
It's
that,
accountability, man.
Be able to accept that. I tell you what, that's a huge skill for life, man. And not to get too off topic again, but if you can learn that at a young age, and I'm still teaching my sons this stuff, but be able to accept that and get better.
I think that's what the Bengals are missing too. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to get too off topic with a lot of this, but that's what a lot of, teams are. They're like one step away. And sometimes it's players, sometimes it's coaches, sometimes it's just, I don't know, man. Like, you gotta build a culture around that. Like, you have to build that from the ground up.
Right.
If you don't have nobody that's willing to do that type of stuff, say those type of things to people, no one who is. When they go home, no one's going to tell them that. You're going to get patted on the back when you go home.
Right.
So, shout out to Gordon Ramsay just for springing this topic and being that type of a motivational coach and getting in your grill. Because there's been plenty of times people wanted to fight him and he said, let's go. We go outside right now. Right. You know what I mean? Like, he's about that on and off camera. Like, I love it, man. I love that type of energy.
I mess with it.
Speaking of that type of energy, dog, I love how this just roll into everything, man. We got that Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. You want to talk about that type of energy? Mike Tyson is the man that he'll try to kill you. Literally, I shit you not. He will literally try to kill your ass.
Fuck a dog, man. Have a fucking tiger at home, man. Have a tiger.
He's nuts. Like, there's something in him that made him that way.
Man, Mike Tyson is, when we talk about leaders and we talk about tenacity, one of the fiercest guys I've ever seen in my life. And what's crazy, man, is I've listened to a lot of his podcasts lately. Yeah. I heard him and Kim Shamrock talking about their past, and Mike Tyson said some things that I had never, ever in my life would have imagined or dreamed of this man. So Mike Tyson was actually trained by a white gentleman who, and I forget his name, he's a legend, but I think he adopted Mike at a certain age. Like he kind of like took Mike in as like a father figure, and basically taught Mike the fighter spirit and how to basically focus rage and anger and aggression.
Yeah.
But when you hear Mike talk about this, man, it's not like, you know, I was a orphan kid and I used my anger and aggression to kill. He said, no, this loving man who I love to death, you know, and et cetera, like he's who made me this, whatever. So, man, you know, not to get too deep into it, man, but Mike Tyson, man, is, golly, and Roy Jones too, man. Great careers in both of them.
Absolutely.
You know, Mike's a legend. Roy's a legend. I can't believe they're even fighting for real.
Yeah. So it's an exhibition, man, and it's been put by the state commission that Tyson Jones and the promoters of the bout have said that both are going in with intentions of brawling. I don't know how that's gonna work. I've been saying this, bro. You can tell Mike Tyson one thing, and you're not allowed to bite somebody's ear off, and he did it. You don't think he's just going to try to kill this man with sparring gear on? Like,
did you watch the weigh-in?
I did not get to watch it.
So on the weigh-in, they weighed in, him and Mike, very mature men, both of them. So they just stared each other down like any mature guy would. There wasn't any facial expressions. There wasn't no crap talk. No, they kept it real player. But afterwards, they asked questions where, you know, they questioned, you know, Roy Jones first, or Mike first, then Roy Jones. They said, Mike, what's the game plan for tomorrow night? Mike said, I'm just going to give him all I got. You know, I'm going to give him everything. And I'm just, you know, like Mike always does. And he was like, and then let's see what happens. We'll just leave it up to Roy after that. So Mike's literally going to go in there, give him everything he's got, which Mike normally does, which is a whole lot. And then just kind of see what Roy does. And I think that's what I'm most anxious to see is like, I know what Mike's going to do. What is Roy going to do? And because they're different fighters. Yeah,
man. He's never fought him. No, never fought anybody like Mike Tyson. Like, Mike Tyson, preparing for him is way different than preparing for anybody else he's ever fought.
Well, they asked Roy the same question. What's the game plan for the night? And he says, you know, they doubted me. You know, they doubted my career. They told me not to be a fighter, and they doubt me tonight. You know, I'm going to go out here and show and prove. So
the way they're talking, though, it sounds like they're about to fight, though.
Oh, yeah.
This is supposed to be.
This
is, all right, and I'll tell you word for word.
This ain't an old man thing. This is a fight.
Word for word. They said while the commission does have the final say over things and has to describe the showdown as a hard sparring, there's a lot of unknowns heading into the matchup. And Jalen actually just told me that Mike Tyson did a podcast, and he said he had no idea what the rules were. That scares me.
He don't care.
That scares me.
He don't care what the rules are.
So the only U.S. sportbook offering odds is DraftKings, and DraftKings is pretty much a partner for the actual fight. There is a fight card for this too. You know, Mike Tyson and Roy Jones are pretty much the headline.
I want to see this Jake Paul, Nate Robinson, man.
I remember them talking about that for a little minute. Like, I was like,
happening.
Yeah, I don't know.
They were at the weigh-in as well. Their weigh-in was funny, man. Like, so you didn't see any of that, obviously. So they were the second weigh-in after Mike and Roy. And it was the same thing. They weighed in. Dude's wearing the Goku hat or hair.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm just going to go straight Goku on him tonight. He's talking all that stuff, right? And like Nate Robinson's like, man, I just want to thank my kids, man, and you know everybody helped me through this and pushed me towards this, and you know it's just so Nate was real serious, Jake was real animated but serious. But like for Nate Robinson, this is like, man, I'm just gonna crush this guy. For Jake, he like, man, I'm trying to really box and get out here. This could be I'm trying to get on.
Did he win his last fight? Jake Paul, or what's his name?
Jake Paul.
Because he fought somebody else. He fought another YouTuber or some shit like that.
He did, and I believe that dude beat him up. But I don't think it was official enough to really count.
And Jake Paul, like, he's pretty fit, man. Like, he's crazy fit now. Like,
for sure.
You
he reminds me of an MMA guy or UFC type. But he wants to box.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about that, man. Shout out to Nate Robinson, man. I want to see that, man. Please beat him.
It's gonna be interesting. it's gonna be super interesting, just the reach and everything, because Nate's pretty short. You got Badu Jack and Blake. what is this?
McKeeman.
That's a light heavyweight, and then what is his name?
Vidal Riley
and Rashad Coulter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jalen said Logan Paul. Did he lose? Oh, he won his first fight by TKO, and his brother lost. Interesting. Yeah, I thought he did decent.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be interesting. I know it's tonight. Start time's at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and that's the main card. This is at the Staples Center, which is wow. They're really doing this big, man. It's a traditional pay-per-view.
Yep.
$50, and it's through Triller, I believe.
Yep.
Or
Triller, and
yeah.
then what
Fight
was
TV.
Yeah, there was another sponsor, Weed Maps.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because Mike Tyson's building that
Yeah,
that
man.
whole
Right.
like weed facility and all
Yeah.
that. I mean, his show is called Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson.
It's
man.
crazy,
So
man.
this shit is gonna be fun as hell.
I'm
Man.
hyped, man. This is a cool.
I
event.
mean, I just hope that they stay healthy and nothing bad happens, because these guys are older. I get it. They can't be doing this shit, man. This is just dangerous. But I do want to see Mike Tyson knock Roy Jones Jr. head off. I'm not even about to hold you, bro. Not even gonna hold you. I just want to see it happen. I just do.
I think that for Roy Jones, this could be something he shouldn't have done.
Yeah, something he's gonna regret.
For Mike Tyson, ever since I was a kid, this guy's been immortal. So
The stories about Mike Tyson are absolutely ridiculous.
this dude would snort cocaine, have sex, and then fight like all within the same hour, and like beat the snot out of people.
Dude.
His greatest hits was on World Star the other day, and I watched it like 6 times. And it's just
And it's quick because
some
they
of
don't
the
last long.
power that went into his.
And some of them ones were like them old head heavyweights, and they thinking they gonna beat this young dude, and he come out and just clobbering motherfuckers.
There's only 2 people I've ever seen fight in the way or fashion he does. That's him and Kimbo Slice.
Mm-hmm.
Kimbo's gone. Rest in peace, Kimbo. Saw a great documentary on him the other day, but other than that, man, I don't really know of anybody else that fights harder than they do. Like those.
Is he gonna have the same animal in him though? That's the question.
Well, I think it's gonna be the same animal because the heart and the head ain't went
I
nowhere.
think once he tastes blood, it's over. Because you remember he likes tasting the blood
Scaring
too.
me now talking about
You know
tasting
what I mean?
blood.
He's that type of dude.
No,
bro.
oh yeah,
He's
oh,
that
yeah.
type of dude.
Well, see, I don't think he's got the same. He's not the 20-year-old Mike for sure, right?
Oh yeah.
So I don't think it's gonna last as long.
You heard a story about him at Wimbledon?
Mm-mm.
Bruh, he was like getting like his daughter she's really into tennis and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he like grabbed something from the concession stand, like one of the vendors, and he just took it and walked off. He's like, hey, you gotta pay for that. He's like, I'm fucking Mike Tyson. And then tried to fight dude. So it's like, what?
Well, you seen
Excuse me, Mike Tyson?
when he was on the Joe Budden podcast, he had them shook.
Oh yeah, when they did that little cut edit and shit. Yeah,
man.
make you uncomfortable, bro.
He was like, get down on your fucking knees.
Yeah, man.
Like, oh shoot.
But it's just
This
he's
guy.
passionate, man. That's the passion. Like he talked about how shit made him feel like made me feel like a bitch, and I'm like, he don't never want to feel like that. And I'm like, man, that dude's crazy. Like the story he tells about the toad when he goes to Mexico, where he has to take that DMT through that toad, and it's an outer body experience that changed his whole life.
Yep.
Made him he says a good person and a nice person. You know, I still think it's somewhere in him. And like I said, I think it's just gonna be a trigger, like him tasting Roy Jones's blood or some shit, and you gonna have to get a whole thing of security in there, bro, because this shit's gonna get real, bro. I'm telling you. Right now.
I think that Mike's game plan should be to go in there, give everything he has as fast as possible. Because if he knocks him down in the first round, I don't see him getting up too many times. It just ain't gonna be So
it's gonna be a body shot or something.
It's gonna be the first or second.
You seen
round.
him like training? Like there was a recent video of him just swinging, bro. And I'm like, what? This man's still hitting like this, like, and this is just the air, like, and I'm like, bruh, I know the air is hurting right now from how this motherfucker hitting him, man. Like, damn.
No, he was tagging, man, and one thing that I realized, and this is how I know Mike has power, I saw him do a variation where he did a right, left, uppercut, and then a right cross with the same arm.
Mm-hmm.
And what was so amazing to me is that he uppercut, crossed, and not only did he swing with full power up and through, he ripped it back at the same angle to where you saw his elbow come straight back and in position. So what I'm saying is like he's punching forward and thrusting back with the same amount of freaking force.
Nuts.
To make sure his stuff's, I mean, it's
tight.
powerful.
Oh, yeah, man.
I don't understand how you
different breed.
You know, it's,
no one
it's
ever
Jedi
liked him.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like
no.
he like I want to see him on a sports
Super
science
power strength.
hitting like a bag or something. You know what I'm saying? Like he hit it with 3 trillion tons of energy per square inch.
Yeah,
I'm excited for the night, man. Let's go, man.
Super excited. So,
and I give it to Roy for even being there with him, man.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna perk. Win or lose, you a winner in my books, man. Great career again. I don't want to take nothing from you and Mike. But just to stand in front of Mike and even act like you gonna fight him, I'm cool, man.
Yeah.
You got more.
Well, you damn near has to, or you're gonna get killed. You
got
can't
more
just
testosterone.
bullshit.
Than me. Yeah. I can't do it. So
yeah, I don't know, man. It's definitely gonna be interesting. Yo, let's get into these NFL picks, and then we could wrap this up.
Yeah, man.
I think I got them all down here too. We'll knock out this first one. It's Giants at Bengals. I'm gonna just tell you right now, I hope the Bengals lose the rest of these fucking games.
Yeah,
and get rid of Zach Taylor. Get him out of here. Let's draft Penny Sewell from Oregon, best offensive lineman in the past 10, 15 years to come out of the draft. Do it now. Move Jonah Williams inside, and let's start, to get Joe Burrow back healthy. But I got Giants they've played the most consistent out of everybody in the NFC East, so they're probably gonna beat the shit out of us.
Yeah,
which is saying something because that whole division is terrible.
I'm gonna go Giants as well, man, and sadly the Bengals just ain't giving us nothing, man. And
yeah, man, that shit crushed me, man. I'm telling you right now, that really hurt my soul when that shit happened. It hurt, but Joe Burrow's already working out.
Yes,
he's already pushing the fucking limits.
Yeah,
to the point where Uzoma was like, I got to get on my shit. And he got hurt how many weeks ago?
Right.
He did his ACL the same way.
First week of the season or
something like that. First couple weeks of the season.
Yeah, let's say
and he's already passed him. So I'm like.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff going on.
It's crazy, but I'm like, this guy's different. Zach Taylor does not deserve to coach that man. Never. He shouldn't coach another fucking down that Joe Burrow has anything to do with. Man. That's me personally.
Right.
Call Eric Bieniemy back. Get his ass in here. That's the type of culture I want. That goes back to what we were talking about with just coaching and being able to rip the people that are accountable.
Right.
He didn't do that after his asset, this $40 million, 15-year future just got destroyed.
Right.
He had nothing to say about it. He said, I thought they were doing well. No. So
I feel you on that.
I ain't even gonna get into that. Fuck that guy. Sunday night, Bears at Packers. This is a little bit more interesting. Bears have been playing a little bit better.
Yes.
Packers, they've been pretty consistent too, but they're off and on sometimes. How you feeling?
Man, I'm rooting for the Bears because I've got some fantasy stock there.
Their defense always comes to play.
For sure. No, but that Bears-Packers rivalry is always pretty solid, man. So it's going to be a tough game regardless.
At Packers, though. So
Yeah. But I'm with you, though, man. Both teams are playing great, consistent ball right now. I'm going to go Bears.
Bears? I'll go Packers.
Okay.
Because Aaron Rodgers is just, man. It's a shame that they didn't get anybody for him. They couldn't get Fuller from the Texans, which I understand the Texans' point of view. I mean, Bill O'Brien fucked all that up. That's why he's no longer there.
Right.
But, I mean, they got Adams, and he's playing out of his freaking mind right now. So I think they'll pull away and get this because I do not know the situation for the offense for the Bears. It's all over the place. I don't even know who's calling the plays anymore.
Man, people get hurt. There's people in and out. Yeah, it's
Foles. Who else? Trubisky. I don't even know. Tariq Cohen's not been. He's been out.
Right.
So Who knows? We got a bonus game for Sunday that I want to throw in there as well. And this is probably going to be the game. I already said I wasn't going to watch football, but this might be a game I watch, and that's Chiefs at Buccaneers.
Man, you know the Chiefs about to kill them.
Yeah, I think I got Chiefs too. They got to catch up with the Steelers. We'll get into that game here in a second. But yeah, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, after that Raiders game, they're back where they were when they were winning the Super Bowl, dog.
Yep.
They're right there, right there. So I got Chiefs as well. The Monday night game is Seahawks at Eagles. It's an easy one for me. Seahawks.
Yep, same here, man.
Eagles are struggling. Like, again, the NFC East is an embarrassment of the National Football League. I mean, honestly, they wouldn't even have any wins over the AFC North if it wasn't for Joe Burrow getting hurt.
Man, this is
Washington.
one of those years, man.
Yeah.
It's one of those years where it's either you're good or you're bad.
Did you watch any of the Thanksgiving games?
I watched a little bit, man.
Sucks that that's all we got,
Couldn't get into a whole lot. I mean, I watched a lot of the Detroit game.
Yeah, it was the early one.
Yeah, so I got to see a lot of that.
Cowboys game was embarrassing. First quarter was okay, and then Andy Dalton did Andy Dalton things. I already knew this. He's not a primetime player.
Cowboys fans feeling like Bengals fans this year, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, I mean, and there'll be a lot more teams feeling like us here in a minute, but they're already moving on to next year. That's why I'm like, Bengals just gotta lose these games.
I mean, it's odd, man. Like Pittsburgh and Cleveland are having decent seasons.
Yeah.
But everybody else around here cheers for like the Eagles or Atlanta or the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, get out of here.
Yeah, it's super interesting.
Even my Broncos fans hurting, so it's weird, man. It's weird.
Didn't Drew Lock get hurt? I think.
Yeah, their running backs have all been hurt.
Yeah, man.
It's been weird.
It's really been hurting a lot of teams, and like we were saying earlier, fantasy is just killing us right now. I gave up. There's nothing I could do.
No.
2 of my running backs tore their ACLs. And another one of my running backs, Joe Mixon, he's been hurt. Yep. He's on IR, so that's 3 weeks.
I had 2 players get COVID.
Yeah, man.
I had two of my players got COVID. I had a running back who twisted an ankle. Mm-hmm. One of my running backs had a tragic death in his family, James White, for New England. So he sat a game or 2. It's been crazy, man.
Yeah,
it's been crazy.
It's hurt me, man. Trust me. Who else? I had Uzoma too as one of my tight ends because I was like, Joe Burrow, his favorite targets are the tight end, ACL.
Yep.
So it's like everywhere I looked, I'm like, and at that point I was like, you know what? It's just not meant for me. Luckily, I play in a good league where we do this every year, pay $100. We could trade for draft picks for the next year. So we treat this like a real deal, you know what I mean?
Right.
I've been trading picks, dog. I got a couple 4th-round picks, extra picks, got a 6th-round pick, got another 8th-round pick. We stocking up draft picks, dog. We doing this like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, I'm the GM.
There you go.
Big time GM, dog. So I'm getting in there. We building for the future. That's what you got to do, man.
It's one of them things. It's real now.
Oh, yeah. You definitely do.
Yeah.
Definitely do. Bonus game. They're going to try this on Tuesday, but I don't even know if they might just cancel this game altogether. Ravens at Steelers. Do you still feel the same way?
Man.
Or different? Now because Lamar's not going to be playing unless he tests negative. And I think he had to test negative 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. So
I don't know the protocol, but, man, no, I still say Steelers here. I don't know if the Ravens could pull it off, man.
I think the Steelers got the benefit of not having to travel either.
Yeah.
I think that's really going to hurt.
They play good at home.
Yep, that plus everything with the protocols, I don't know if you know this, but because, being the away team, you have to do all your testing the day prior. You can't even do none on the same day because you'll be traveling on that day. So, if the Steelers have the benefit, if they still have someone with COVID, they can test on Tuesday. And figure it out because they're in their facility. Ravens would have to do it on Monday. And maybe they don't have it on Tuesday, but they don't get that benefit because they have to travel.
Wow.
So, I don't know, man. Once I seen all the other players that, got COVID from the Steelers, then I started thinking, like, I don't know, man.
Well,
Is RG3, is he going to be the starter? I don't even know who's going to be the running back.
no, Mark Ingram got it.
And J.K. Dobbins.
Yep.
So
They've been doing.
NFL,
Man,
they got a fucking mess.
I'll tell you, like I said, man, you can't even hang around, man. You got to go to practice, go home, and you risk everybody getting sick.
One quick story I will say, though, which was very interesting. They were talking about this today on ESPN. What's his name? Jim Boeheim, coach of Syracuse. They had a player that had COVID, and he practiced 2 days before they knew his test results. Nobody else tested positive after that. You see how crazy this shit is? So it's all interesting, man. Like, this shit blows my mind, and I really don't. I don't know. I just don't know, man. You know what I mean? Like, it is something where I'm just like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Fuck it.
Well, I keep saying this. If you didn't have it or you did have it and you were asymptomatic, did you develop antibodies to where you don't get it again?
Right.
And now are you protected? Right? So now, like, because I don't know if I've had it or didn't have it or if I'm, immune to it or if I have antibodies built up, but I shouldn't be concerned anymore. I don't need a vaccine or I don't need to.
And that was my thing. I tested negative for it, and I didn't have any antibodies either. So I haven't ever had it.
Correct.
So.
Because that's where they get the rapid test from, is they test for antibodies.
Yep.
If the antibodies show up, that shows that you had something.
Yep.
Man, it's crazy, bro.
It's a lot, man.
Crazy,
like, this is a lot. And me just having to do the test one time, these guys are getting tested like every fucking day. Pac-12, their requirements, the reason why BYU, they turned down that game with Washington, they had to test every day. There's no way you could do that.
That's crazy.
It's impossible.
Yeah, you turned up the nose.
That's why the Pac-12's only played 2 games.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? And they just canceled a whole bunch of games. So we'll have to see. We're going to play this by ear. We'll keep an eye out on it for this week. The next few weeks this is getting into, cold season, and now we're getting into bowl season and playoff season.
Yeah, we'll see
where this shit really matters.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
So, I don't know, man. I'm not going to pick neither one. I'm going to say no contest. I don't think they're going to play on Tuesday.
Got you. You know what? I would like to see them play just because who they are to us and the Bengals. I want the Steelers to lose, and if I think anybody's got a shot, it'd be one of these guys. So maybe they don't play to Tuesday, but they play eventually, so we can.
I told Steeler fans too, because they were mad. They're like, we're getting cheated, all this and that, and I'm like, you guys better hope y'all don't play them, and y'all better be lucky y'all didn't play on Thursday or Sunday without those players, because who's to say y'all wouldn't have caught it from somebody else? They just had a crazy outbreak.
Yeah, this was good for them.
You know what I mean? This could have really ruined their season if they would have just went ahead and did all this. So, hey, man, I think they're doing it as best as they can, but at this point, you're going to have to just start canceling shit and not playing with the amount of people that you want to play with. So
real quick though, before we shut this all up, man, when Travis Kelce was on the one podcast, man, he talked a lot about the NBA being kind of a leader in not only social innovation, but also just how they handle COVID and put stuff in the bubble and kept it real tight. So the employees there that are doing like setup and cleaning and maintenance, were they all just there on campus as well? Like, those people weren't going home, or were they like employees of Disney? Like the people who they would have like setting up chairs in the courts and scoreboards and digits.
All provided by the NBA, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, those people, because I'm trying to figure out the difference. Like NFL.
Well, with the chefs, right? So have you heard the story about the chefs that they had in there originally? Okay, so originally they had the chefs that were from Disney that worked at those those hotels and stuff. Yeah. And they were doing the meals. Players didn't like it, so they wanted better food. It's all understandable. So they got the woman, two. They got 2 black women. I can't remember their names, but she did she's done so many players meals for certain things. She's done she did the Olympics when LeBron, Kobe, rest in peace of Kobe, when they all were doing that. She was the team chef, so they invited her. And she would get up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning every day to just start prepping all this food. And you would have to have your orders in by a certain time. And she had it all set up like on this app for her. You could pay for it, tell them what you want, and she did everything. Well, how it was done was they were in one part of the park. They were still roped off from a lot of things, but they would just take it to this one area, and then runners would take it into the part where they would give it to the players and stuff. So she wasn't even she was in the bubble, but the players are in a whole nother bubble. So she's in a bubble here, cooking, doing her thing. They drive it here to this drop off, and that's it. And then she drives back home. She has to go in her room and do that. So I'm sure they had NBA staff there as well as Disney. They probably had both, and you just had to test. You had to do it just like the players did. For sure. Thank goodness that, they didn't really have an issue. Some people tried to dip out and do their own thing, but they made them wait, not play, and they seemed okay. Well, seeing just for the NFL, man, it's so hard to keep everybody in the same campus. It's impossible. And not go anywhere, and so. It's impossible. And if one person gets it, unfortunately, multiple people get it, so. Yeah, it's impossible, man. It definitely is, and it sucks, but hey, that's what they agreed to. They already were told at the beginning of the season that everything's not going to be fair with the decisions they make, and they agreed to it, and they said that's okay. So, so be it. There you go. Yep. So I think that's all we got for today. Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you coming in here again, man, and just getting in the flow of things now, making this more natural, and we on point with it. And, I appreciate you. Absolutely. Again, make sure you guys go check out the Redbubble store, Unanimous Pod. Just search Unanimous Pod on redbubble.com. We got a whole bunch of things in there. Deals 2020 is the promo code for this Cyber Monday, Black Friday kind of deals thing going on. Got anything else? Oh, man, get your merch, man. Support the pod, man. Unanimous Network. Shout out to Thompson Commercial Services. As always, man. Got to get y'all in here and maybe get, I try to clean up and everything before every podcast, but I might need a thorough cleaning here in a minute, man. You know absolutely, man. Well, anybody looking for a nice disinfection clean for the office space, give us a call. Reach out to my brother, man. He'll take care of everything you may need. For sure. ThompsonCommercialServices.com. Okay. That's where you can reach him. So, other than that, man, I don't have much more. It was a great episode, man. Thanks for tuning in to episode 30. We'll see you guys next time. Yes, sir. Deuces.
Powered by
Who that? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is that? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is that? Who is that nigga that's driving a Bentley? Who is that nigga that's counting them 50s? Who is that nigga that's running the city? I be that nigga that's running it up. Keep that shit on me, I keep that shit tucked. I'm paper chasing, always in a rush. I gotta get it, that shit is a must. They wasn't with it, got left in the dust. I gotta be the one to make a change. Could wait till the day when they told me I changed. Put off my city and my last name. Put on a pinky ring and a new chain. Who was that? Look at me, I know you picture you in that. I know you don't know nobody doing that. We just hot, they can never be cool with that. If I like it, you know I'm pursuing that. Maybe I should get one or get two of that. Walk out of the bank, pocket stupid fat. Yeah, they know who I be, they ain't wondering. Who is that? Who is it? 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 Who is that? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is that? Who is that nigga that's driving a Bentley? Who is that nigga that's counting them 50s? Who is that nigga that's running the city? I be the nigga that's running it up.